God said, Jonah, I want you to do something for me, just like our father always come, our mom, our parents always come to meet us and say, oh, Derek, oh, wisdom, oh, merit, oh, Samuel, I want you to do something for me. So God told Jonah, he said, Jonah, I want you to do something for me. There is a city called Nineveh. I want you to go there and you go and preach. So the first thing is that, you know, that God always gives us assignments. Number one thing, I want you to put it in your head. If you can write it down, write down, because I'm going to ask you. Number one thing we're going to learn today is that, number one, God always gives his children assignments. And that assignment, we can call it purpose. We can call it calling. We can call it gift. So God always gives his children what?
Assignments.
Assignments. You know, when you go to school and you learn something very important, your teacher will give you an assignment. Will say, okay, this is an assignment. When you go home, you're going to read. In German, we call it Hausaufgabe. It's a German word called Hausaufgabe. It means work that you do at home. Do you understand? So teacher always give us a lot of assignments. So the same way, God gives us work to do. Your work is your talent. Your work is your gift. Your work is your purpose. Hello, are you with me?
Yes,
So the first thing we should learn today is that God always gives us assignment. There is a purpose, the reason why God created us. Number one thing. So if I ask you, you must tell me. Now, let me go back to the story again. So God gave Jonah assignment. He said, go to Nineveh and go and preach the gospel to Nineveh. So what happened? Jonah, I don't know what goes into Jonah. I don't know what's wrong with Jonah's head. Jonah decided to go to Tarshish. He disobeyed God. So number two important thing that we learn today is that we should not disobey God. Whenever God asks you to do something and you don't do it, you have disobeyed God. The same way, when your parents ask you to do something and you are not doing it, you have disobeyed your parents. And it's a sin. So, number two thing, whenever God asks you to do something, don't do what? Don't disobey. Don't disobey. So Jonah disobeyed God. So Jonah, instead of him going to Tarshish, instead of him going to Nineveh, Jonah went to Tarshish. I'm going to ask you, where did God ask Jonah to go to? And I'm going to ask you, where did he went to? So Jonah bought a train, he bought a ticket, he bought a car, he bought a ship, and he went straight to Tarshish instead of Nineveh. So on the boat, a lot of people are there. So God caused a kind of a boisterous wave. There was a torment on the sea, and God wanted to capsize the whole ship, and so that all of them would die. So all of them were afraid. So number three thing is that whenever you disobey God, God will always want you to obey him. Number three. Number one, God always gives us assignments. Number two, we should not disobey God. Number three, whenever we disobey God, he will always want us to obey him. So God wants Jonah to obey him. So what did he do? He caused a kind of a wave so that Jonah and every people will capsize into the sea and die. So the people were afraid. They were very, very afraid. So they cast a lot. They were thinking, what could have happened? Why is it that God wants to kill them? They don't know that it's because of Jonah is in the boat. And Jonah has disobeyed. Number four thing I want you to learn today is that when you have a bad friend, when you have a bad companion, when all the people you move with, they are bad people, God will be angry with you. You see, those people in the boat, they are good. But because Jonah has disobeyed God, he's now in the boat. God was angry with every one of them. You see, so it is very important that you don't be a friend of bad people. So I've taught you 4 things now. Number one, God gives you assignment. Always give us assignment. Number two, when God asks you to do something, don't disobey. Number three, when you disobey God, God will always want you to obey him. Number four, don't keep bad friends. You see, if you keep bad friends, God will not be happy with you. The same way God wants to keep everybody that are on the boat where Jonah was. So, and they were like afraid. Oh, they don't want to die. 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 So they cast a lot. And they discovered that the reason why God is angry with them, was angry with them, is because Jonah, the disobedient guy, is in the boat. So they said, what are they going to do? So Jonah told them, he said, see, I'm the one that offended God. I am the sinner. So take me and throw me inside the water so that there will not be problem on the boat. You see what Jonah did? Because Jonah is a sinner, Jonah said they should throw him inside water so that all of them, God is going to save their life. Number 5 thing I want you to know is this. There is no way you can escape the assignment of God. There is no excuse for not doing what God asks you to do. Number 5, I'm going to say it again. Number 1, I said that God always gives us assignments, right? Number 2, I said when God gives you assignments, don't do what? Don't disobey. Number 3, I said whenever you disobey God, God will always want you to obey him, right? Number 4, I said that don't keep bad friends. Now, number 5, what did I say as number 5? Is anybody following me, Iyano? What did I say as number 5?
There is no way you can escape the assignment from God.
There is no way you are going to escape the assignment of God. There is no excuse you can give not to do the assignment of God. You know, many of us, when our teacher gives us an assignment, so we'll do something and we forgot, right? So we now get to class the second day and the teacher said, oh, where's my assignment? Some of you say, hey, excuse me, teacher, I don't have time. Yeah, mommy asked me to do something in the kitchen, so I forgot. But for God, there is no excuse for not doing the assignment of God. When God asks you to do something, you must, is a must. You must do it. But Jonah does not know that. Jonah thinking and give God excuses. So they throw Jonah into the water. So what happened? The Bible says that, and God prepared a shark, big shark, like a whale, very big fish. Oh, when you see a shark, you will be so afraid. It's very, very big. Very big. It's like a whale. So big. Some sharks are big like an half of a house. God prepared a shark. And what did the shark do? He swallowed Jonah in the water. Wow, what a wonderful story. How can a shark swallow a human being? God let that happen. You see, God is a wonderful God. Number 6 thing I want you to know is that whenever you are in trouble, God will always protect you. Jonah was in trouble. They threw him inside the water, and God used shark, a big fish, to save his life. Do you see that? So whenever you are in trouble, God will always do what?
Protect us.
God will always protect you. So that's number 6 thing. I'm going to count it today. Number 1, God always gives us assignments. Number 2, when God gives you assignments, you must do it. Don't disobey God. Number 3, whenever you disobey God, God will always want you to obey him. Number 4, don't keep bad friends. Number 5, what did I say number 5 is? Number 5 is
There is no excuse.
huh?
There is no excuse.
There is no excuse for you not doing the work of God. And number 6, which is the final one, is that whenever you are in trouble, what happened? God will protect you because you are a child of God. Jonah was a child of God. He was running away from God. He didn't want to do God's assignment. He wants to give excuses. Just the same way we always want to give excuses when we don't do our assignments. I remember those days. Whenever I'm teaching my students, they always come with a lot of excuses. Some will say, "Oh, I'm so tired. I have headache." Some even in the university, they'll say, "Oh, I was busy. I have some students that they are married, you know. They whenever there is an assignment and I want them to submit the assignment over the weekend, they keep on, and I see them, some of them will call me, will say, "Oh, I should be done. I mean, sorry, oh sorry, we cannot do it because I'm busy. I have 2 kids and I have to feed those kids." No, God is that's not how God works with us. God doesn't want you to always give reasons. God doesn't want you to always give excuses for disobeying Him. It's a very big sin if you disobey God. And the only way you can disobey God is when you don't do what God asks you to do. Now let us go back to our house. Mommy and daddy will not like it if you disobey them. Hello? Hi.
Yeah.
Our parents, they are like a mini God to us. Whenever and whatever they say, we must do them. Number 1, our parents always give us assignments, give us something to do. Number 2, we should always do what our parents ask us to do. Number 3, anytime we disobey our parents will be angry with us. Will always want us to do what they ask us to do. Number 4 thing is that we shouldn't keep bad friends that will be telling us not to do what our parents ask us to do. Number 5 is that when we are in trouble, what is number 5? Number 5, what's number 5?
There's no
excuse.
God assignment.
Huh?
There is no way we can escape God's assignment.
Yeah, and there is no way you can escape God's assignment. There is no way, there is no good reason for you not to do what your parents ask you to do. And number 6, whenever you are in trouble at school, whenever you're in trouble outside, maybe you go out to play and you are in trouble, your parent is always there to speak to because they are going to help you. The same way God is going to protect you from every troubles, your parents, your guardians will always help you from every trouble. Whenever you have a problem, don't go and meet your friends. Your friends can do that to you. Your friends can help you in doing that. It's only God and your parents that can do that. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
Yes,
God
sir.
is always happy with those that is obedient to Him. Our parents will always be happy if we are obedient to them. So this is teaching us that we should be able to be obedient to God and also to be obedient to our parents. So Jonah was disobedient to God. And what did God do? God makes sure that he obeys it. So you see, today we learn a very wonderful message today. And it's something that we must always remember. Always, 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 whenever you sleep, when you wake up, always remember that number 1, God gives us assignments. And the assignment God is giving us is that for now, we should obey Him and obey our parents. The same way God gave Jonah assignment. Number 2 is that God is not always happy when we disobey Him. God is not always happy when we disobey our parents. God is not always happy when we disobey the school rules and regulations. God is not always happy when we disobey the laws of the state. You know, most of the time when we want to cross the road, we will see red Some of you are still going to cross the road. You are disobeying. When you see red sign, you stay. When you see yellow, you prepare. And when you see green, you move. You obey that. Because it is good for someone to be obedient. So number 3, whenever you disobey, God is angry with you. God always wants you to obey. Whenever you disobey your parents, God is always angry with you. God always wants you to obey your parents. Number 4, don't keep bad friends. I want to say much about that. Don't keep bad friends. Because of a single bad friend, you may get yourself in trouble. Imagine if you are keeping friends that are smoking cigarettes, that are drinking alcohol, you will be in danger, because one day they will go and smoke, or they will go and drink, and they will find, maybe they will have an accident, or maybe police is going to arrest them, or maybe something bad happened to them. You will be the first person to come, the police to come and arrest, because he is your friend. So you need to keep godly friends, not bad friends. When you keep bad friends, they will influence you wrongly. When you are always with bad friends, God will not always be where you are, because God is not always where evil people are. God doesn't have delight. God is not happy with evil people. God is not happy with bad people. God is not happy with people that's not doing good. It's only people that are child of God that God is always happy with them. And I sincerely am telling you, if God is happy with you, you are fine, you are good. You will do everything in a very perfect way. Even your parents will also love you, and you will not have any problem. You see, these are the things that we should need to keep. Number 5 thing is that whenever you are in trouble, God will always deliver you. And there is no how you can give excuse for God. The same way, don't give excuses to your parents too. Whenever your parents ask you to do something, do it. Whenever you know something is bad, say it that it is bad. Don't follow peer pressures, You know what I'm trying to say? So just do what you are asked to do, and God is going to be happy with you. God is going to love you. God is going to guide you. God is going to protect you, because that is the full responsibility of God for your life. Only for the children that obey God. You see, Jonah disobeyed God, and problem come into his life. So whenever we disobey God, problem always come into our life. But whenever we obey God, then God is always happy with us, and we will be problem free. So I believe you learn a whole lot of things about Jonah today. So I'm going to be asking you some questions. And before I ask you some questions, I want you to ask me some questions. So do you have any question for me today? Any question?
What happened with Jonah?
Oh, what finally happened to Jonah? Is that what you are asking, Wisdom?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think I know.
Now, huh?
I think I
Shalom,
know.
you want to answer?
I think he got swallowed by the whale, like, and he stayed in there for inside the whale's belly, like, for a few days, and then he got out of the.
Okay. Shalom was right. So they throw Jonah inside the water. And you know what? You know when they throw you inside Atlantic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, or Red Sea, is very, very dangerous. There are very, very dangerous fishes there that can hit human being alive, raw. So the life of Jonah was in danger. In fact, we don't know, maybe Jonah can swim or not. And even if Jonah can swim, how many hours can Jonah swim to swim out of a very big ocean? So that means Jonah is about to die. Jonah was in trouble. He wants to save his life. So what happened? God sent a fish, a very big fish. And what is the fish called? Shark.
Shark.
Shark. Mr. Shark came. And Mr. Shark said, "Hey, Mr. Jonah, what's up with you?" And Mr. Jonah said, "Can't you see I'm drowning? I want to die. These people throw me inside the sea." And Mr. Shark said, "See, don't worry. God gave me assignment." The same way, God gave Jonah assignments, but Jonah refused to obey God. God gave Mr. Shark assignment. to go and swallow Jonah and keep Jonah inside his belly for 3 days. So Mr. Shark swallowed Jonah, and Jonah lived inside Mr. Shark for 3 good days. That's what happened to Jonah. And the whole story, Jonah, after the 3 days, Mr. Shark now come to the side of the sea and vomit Jonah in Nineveh, where God asked him to go to in the first place. You see, God now forced Mr. Shark to swallow Jonah and took Jonah to Nineveh, where he asked him to go, and he dropped him there. You see how God is so wonderful. That's what happened to Mr. Jonah. I think I answered the question with wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any other question? Now, if you're not asking me any question, I'm going to ask you questions and I would like you to answer pretty quick. Now, I'm going to start with Emanuela. Emanuela, what is the first lesson we learned about Jonah story today?
God will give his children assignments.
I can't hear you. You can speak louder than this. I know you.
God will always give his children assignments.
God will always give his children assignments. I love the answer. So, Sharon, what is the second lesson we learned from Jonah's story today? Sharon.
So we should not disobey God and our parents.
We should not disobey God and our parents. I love that. We should not disobey God and our parents. So, Shalom, what is the third lesson for today?
Don't disobey God's instructions.
The third lesson is when we disobey God, God will not be happy with us. When we disobey God, God will not be happy with us. So Samuel and Peter now. I want to talk to Peter. Peter, what is the fourth lesson we learned about Jonah's story today?
We should not keep bad friends.
We should not keep bad friends. Remember, because Jonah became a bad person and is in the boat with other people, they want to die because Jonah was there. So whenever we keep bad friends, our life can also be in danger. An example, if you are working with, let me say, if you are working with a thief, if a thief is your friend, you know you are in danger because one of these days, he will go and do shoplifting. He will go to a shop, steal something, and will not pay, and will run away. And he may come to your house to come and keep that thing. And if police come to come and check, and they find that thing in your house, you know you are going for jail for that. That's the reason why you shouldn't keep bad friends. Bad friends are very, very dangerous to our life, to our health, and even to our academics. Whenever you see a very toxic friend, you do what? You run away. Because God will not be happy with you. Even if you are obeying God. But if you are keeping bad friends, it's not good. And you know, the Bible says, evil communication corrupts good manners. It simply means, in a simple term, if you keep on working with bad people, one day you too, you will be a bad person. It's as simple as that. When you go home, you can try this simple thing. Take one bad apple. Maybe you buy 5, 6, 7 apples. Take one bad apple and put it in the middle of those good apples and leave it till the second day or the third day or fourth day. I'm telling you, by the time you come back to see the fourth day, all of the apple, majority, many of the apple will turn bad. Do you know why? Because there is one bad apple among those apples. So it makes every other apple to be bad. That is how bad friends are. When you keep bad friends, one day you will be bad. That's the reason why people will say, show me your friends and I will show you who you are. So it means that if I want to know who Ola is, I will go and check who is Ola, who are the friends of Ola on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I'll go and check who are the friends of Emanuela on Facebook, on everywhere. I'll go and check. If I discover that many of Emanuela's friends are thieves, many of Samuel's friends, they are bad people, then I will just say, oh, Emanuela is bad. And I will be right. Because if you are good, why are you keeping bad people? If you are good, why are you keeping bad people? Bad people doesn't like good people. So good people should not be keeping bad people too. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That is the reason why you cannot see bad people in church. That's the reason why they don't go to church every Sunday, because church is supposed to be for good people. You see what I'm trying to say? It's supposed to be positive with positive and negative with negative. So because Jonah was bad, he almost wanted to kill everybody on the ship. So Samuel, Peter's brother, what is the fifth lesson we learned today? The fifth one.
There is no way we can escape the assignment of God.
There is no way we can escape the assignment of God. Jonah wanted to escape the assignment of God by flying to Tarshish instead of Nineveh. You see how God has to take shark to swallow Jonah and go and drop him in Nineveh. We cannot escape the assignment of God. No, we can't. I promise you. If God asks you to do something, He will make sure you do it. Do you understand? So Jonah just wasted a lot of time. Then the last lesson we learned today. Okay, Iyanu. Have I called you before?
That whenever you're in trouble, God will always send someone or something to protect you.
Whenever we are in trouble, God will always send someone to protect us. Whenever we are in trouble, God will always protect us. Whenever we are in trouble, see, you have to keep that in your head. It should be here. It should be like a memory verse. Because many times you may face some trouble. Many times you may be in class and you